2025. That actually rhymed. Ooh, I'm on fire. Um, um, on a very drool Thursday, not drool, should I say? More just I guess the clouds are neutral on a very just yeah type of Thursday. I'm your host, Kevin Williams, coming off the bench. Welcome to Off the Bench. You could listen to this live on Riverside, like I said, or YouTube or Twitch. Appreciated the support, and this will be uploaded on Spotify soonly after. Don't forget to just support and just say I'm trying to get there, man. But today is not about me at all. This one is going to very well, just like the last episode, the last podcast. I need to upload as well of my boy, as y'all know, Nasrin Brown. He had his moment in the shine last yesterday when you guys was one day when I had him on last yesterday, and now I got my boy, my Lakers extraordinaire, on a very drool Thursday. The one only my boy, my roommate, Colin Harris. My boy, how you feeling? How you waking up on this
Uh,
Thursday?
I'm not really upset. Obviously, you know, it didn't end how we wanted it to, but this is now the third first round exit I've seen from my favorite player in 5 years. So I've pretty much become numb to it at this point. So
Mm.
that's where I would begin with it.
Oh, all right. Let's just go ahead and get into the recap of the game before we just give our little afterwards of the future timelines of the LeBron saga again, featuring Luca now. That conversation as well. My six senses of this game. Small ball. Yeah. Um, I guess maybe I pivoted a little too early when I told you that shit was that Houston run that
Yeah,
Rudy
and
Gobert huh? That
Rudy
Rudy
Gobert
Gobert Rudy Gobert.
had the best game in probably his fucking
If
playoff
I
career.
would have told you yesterday waking up this morning that Rudy Gobert, if I would have just told you in the series, but if I would have just stuck to my gut, if I would have just told you just one game in the series that Rudy Gobert was gonna give you a 2020 in this series,
I
you
would have said you crazy as hell,
you would have
bro. I
clearly
would have
cursed me on
said
that
you
road.
crazy.
You would have probably bet me a whole 50. But
I
you would
would
probably
have
bet me
bet
100.
probably
You would have probably bet me 100.
I probably did 20 and 20.
You would
I
have
would
bet me
I
probably
would
a
have
good
definitely bet
100. If I would have shook at you would have bet. If I would have told you, and on a closeout game of all purposes.
in LA. Yeah, I'll be damned. I would have told you that exact same
But
shit.
man, I be telling. I know he has the Hall of Famer. If you want to talk about, hey, we are not taking no Rudy slander for until the next series. I made it official clear. 27 to 24 is nothing to snooze. No matter what is there, the person that is nothing to snooze. And we cannot slander the moment. And on the closeout game in Los Angeles, he did what he was supposed to do. And
That's all that
then
can be
some.
said. He did what he was supposed to do. He
But can I
dominated
really say
small
that?
ball.
Because
It
because
took
because
him
because
five
we know
minutes.
Rudy is limited though. So is he really supposed to do that, or
Yeah,
did he take it up a
bro. At a
notch?
7'2", if you're
May
7'2" and in the NBA, you should dominate a lineup where the tallest guy is 6'9". You're supposed to do that. Yes, you're
but
supposed to do
when
that.
we know Rudy Gobert is offensively limited, I mean, just giving me 10 and 10, I mean, that's damn near a good a teammate game right there for Rudy. If you
It
give me
is.
10 and 10, but you give me 20 and 20,
It is.
woo!
Five
We gotta
straight
we
putbacks.
that's to the six senses now. Back to the game recap. That first half was fucking atrocious. I really was a snooze fest. I could give you clips and beats. This is really your moment to shine on the game. I just felt like you said, very fascinating. Maxi Kleber got up the depth chart before, not up the depth chart, but uh, got a tick over the guys that you signed, not the guys you signed, but had in the season with Jackson Hayes throughout 82 and signed throughout the season and Alex Lynn. But JJ Redick clearly felt it was necessary to give Maxi Kleber a run, and Yeah, that's clearly one of the signs when a coach goes to supposedly a man who hasn't not supposed but didn't play all season, and in a closeout game in the first round, you just real I guess,
You know, thrown in the fire.
and it's just not even. I'm not even really about to blame JJ. It's more
Uh,
just sickening to me that every time Rudy Gobert did something um, just excruciating, the camera will point to Jackson Hayes, and oh my God, did that shit trigger me? Like that, like it's like I'm looking at Jackson Hayes, like oh my God, like they're missing pride, like they're missing 2001 Shaq right now, bruh.
you would think, right?
Bruh, the dude was
And
playing
I had
full
this
5 minutes through the series. He was like, what? Are you kidding me?
guaranteed 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes.
With a tech on top of that, right? But JJ's supposed to trust that. Look, I'm
That's
not. Look, I'm not. Look, the Ross person that look, we all, everybody clearly, a lot of the media, the ESPN, 10-0 Lakers, Timberwolves. Look, you got to play in between the lines. You got to play the 94 for 94 feet. The Timberwolves clearly, even in the closeout game where they were 7 of fucking 47, when your team is miss 40 possessions of threes and you still found a way to win on a closeout game, you're just the better team. And if the Lakers would have found the way to win this game, they were going to get dominated in Minnesota. So, more, not really more story, but the sixth, like I said, a sixth sense from this game is more when JJ pivot, he fucking pivots.
mm-hmm.
He don't give a fuck. He's going to swing. He's going to swing heavy, and you know a very JJ very analytic heavy. Understand that he plays in between. Look, the old man and three. I get that. It also comes to the point where we also need to realize that we we asked, not we, but maybe I asked too much. Maybe I asked maybe I had my hindsight too much to think that at the age of 40 years old, I could maybe think LeBron could be a 25 plus point per game scorer in the playoffs anymore. Maybe in certain matchups, maybe my team against Denver with that shit maybe he can.
Yeah, it's
But
25.
but he averaged 25?
Yeah,
So 25 and what? Like 25 flat?
point 0.4.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
25, 9, and 6. You know, final
Oh my
hundreds.
God. It's
Yeah.
is the
Still,
impact is oh
and
my
he playing.
God.
I don't care what nobody says. Still anchoring the defense. Still
And that's maybe too
being the
much as
positive.
well. He's 40. That's too
Yeah, that's
much.
too much on him.
That is too
It is what it
much.
is.
That shouldn't be the case. I shouldn't have a 40-year-old being my best friend on the team.
No,
That shouldn't
no,
be the case.
that shouldn't be the
And
case.
then when Vando is in the playoffs, you clearly see when his energy is matched with other teams' energy in the playoffs. It's way off. So and then Finney Smith, he was fouled out. He didn't have no rhythm yesterday. Austin Reeves,
He's man schemed him
that's
out the
on you. That's
series.
on. Like
He
I talked to him. This is like I said. This is a special edition for you. What do you just recap from the game, the series? What do you just think? Because clearly, if you could say a possession or two here and there, the Lakers could probably be up just as much 3-2 as much they probably could be 1-4. Who knows?
mhm.
But clearly, the big evidence in the series was the fourth quarter. Um, what was Jay? What they outscored them by 42, I believe, in the fourth quarter. I
I
saw.
don't know the exact numbers, but
I believe it was
anyone who
42.
watched
You
each
could,
game knows
yeah. I
that
think it was 42. You probably looked for, but I think it was 42.
this is what I
Uh,
say, bro.
it's just so much to hand because I think so much is hindsight 2020 right now with the team.
Mhm.
From the Lucas right now to you showing me the report with Dave McMenamin, championship shape, to Luca now getting crucified, to Nico Harrison looking like a genius. So he's got the future portion to see if like everything just feels so hindsight 20 right now. And I don't think it's fair. But this is your moment again, dog. I think I said enough for me on my 10 minute soliloquy. This is me for the actual questions.
You
You had.
mind if I
Oh, go ahead, bro. I kind of do got to ask questions, but I'm gonna just give you
I
a
take
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, bro.
But just 82 games, 50 wins. You still predicted it right. you had it on the money with JJ. You did say he was gonna win 50 games. I was oblivious. I said he was gonna be right there in the mark. Once they got Luka, I did see that. Hey, yeah, 50 games. Maybe if AD was on the roster with his injuries and
It's
stuff,
probably
I
two
don't
and a
think.
half,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
like
it still hit the mark.
yep.
JJ, just talk about first season recap, and totality of the game leading to it. But what just where do you go?
Yeah,
Where do you want
so
to go from
just real quick before I get into the game, another roller coaster of the regular season. Um, had some lows. You know, the Miami game, really the entire month of November, part of December. Then we make the trade. We actually started winning before we made the trade, but I think we are 31 and 19, fifth seed. So
here?
the whole narrative, oh, JJ got saved by a trade. He was still we're a top five seed
Y'all
before
were,
the
y'all were,
trade.
y'all were.
And but anyway, you know, make the trade, shake up the whole season. Um, and you go on a run. You go on. You have this stretch where I think they were, I want
Eight
to say
games,
19 and 4 or
something
something.
like that.
And then
21, something like that. First
yeah,
defense, I think that
and then
magnitude was second in the West at the time.
yep, and then Bron messes up his groin.
In that Boston game.
Yep, it's a rough stretch, and so now we're at the playoffs. So like you said, 50 wins, called it before the season started. So now we get to this series, and I was very confident in this
A lot
team
of people was
going
Jason
into this
10, my boy,
series.
who's nice. Shout out
I
you.
didn't,
You thought it was your favorite match, y'all.
yeah,
Y'all what went
I
two and
wanted
one?
this team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. May and have to this be a decision maker throughout the regular season. Had to speed up the game. Had him under 20 points. You could understand why you would like this
yeah.
matchup.
And
And then
they just
the
proved they just
playoffs
went out
just
and played
show
to be the better team.
a different.
They just did.
This is why I appreciate the playoffs. This is why I appreciate coaching. This is why I appreciate heart in the best of a seven series. Anthony Edwards did not average over 20 a game in this series. I don't know how many games Julius Randle played against him. How many games he played against him this year?
Anthony, you said Anthony averaged 20?
No, he didn't play averaging. No, in the series, I'm talking about in the regular season. He averaged 20 against y'all. He averaged like 19
Bro, he averaged 26, bro.
against in the regular season. I could have swore it
Oh,
was
you talking
like
about the regular
right. I'm
season?
talking about against
I'm
you.
tweaking.
Yeah, no, I
I
know.
thought you said the
No,
series.
no. In the
I'm
series,
tweaking.
I know he
Yeah,
averaged like go
I
25.
thought you.
But in the regular season, he struggled mightily against y'all. I mean, I made him sped up. Y'all was doubling him, all that stuff. But right, and then I think it was very inefficient and stuff. Still kind of was really this series too, especially the closeout game. But clearly, the leap that was just shown from the film, maybe from him and just scouting, was just an all around game. He took what the defense made him give, especially yesterday. The stat line ain't gonna show you 5 for 19, 0 for 11 from three. Jesus, he was definitely forcing it.
He did everything else. He was
He
playmaking.
was
He
playmaking, he was
rebounded.
defending, he was rebounding, he was doing the
Yeah,
dirty work. And that was what not what was shown in the regular season that would just lay over in, on a one game scenario. But like shown, when you give the film and you give the footage and the time with the right represent coaching and the right represent of team, gotta give credit with due to Julius Randle again.
played the series of his life. That's
And
one of the swing factors of what went on.
was
Him
that
and
was the
McDaniel.
swings factor. McDaniel was in foul trouble. He didn't even have a good game yesterday. He was in so much of foul trouble. But Julius Randle in the fourth, that
Yeah,
high post, low post, that's the true difference maker.
yeah.
That
He's hitting fades over the left shoulder, the right shoulder, hitting threes.
while Carl the
Really
Towns will
doing it.
probably just you'll pick pop him and he'll draw offensive foul off of him trying to go to the lane or just shooting with his variance. But
I didn't
and
expect this from Randall.
just as the variance that Randall is kind of giving him as a left hander, and then he could bring the ball a little bit with the way he could not control the game, but just being able to use his presence to dictate to where he wanted to pick his spots as a left hander. Um, Now, like I said, this matchup was very much kind of in further for him. You're facing a 40-year-old LeBron, who I know after every game having the bang with Randall has got to literally ice pack his shoulder, and you're also facing a very matchable Luka Doncic. Lord, like I said, hindsight right now, we're going to get into Luka. And this is just a favorable matchup a lot for him. And like I said, I can't wait for him either series now. The Rockets on the off, not even both of the teams offensively in the next series against them are going to make him have to really use this more so than this and this the skills because the Lakers they don't have the, like, you've literally relying on Jackson. They don't have no front court with to make Julius Randle use this enough when LeBron got to worry about what he gonna give on the offensive end in the playoffs. Now you gotta maximize on the defense. Like LeBron, when I saw the fourth quarters of these last two games, LeBron just settling kinda and just
Yeah,
literally just letting Austin Reeves and Luca control and dictate.
just too
That's
busy.
his is. It is. He's
Yeah,
40 now. And I just and you're right. If LeBron was to have did something special with this team, we wouldn't have well, we would have. You still would have said, "What the fuck? You're 40. How's you doing it?" But we would have gave it another cherry on this, a cherry on top of the cream of the crop already. But still ahead. We're still at the age where we're asking too much for LeBron. And we should have I still should have, like I said, seen this prior to the season. Talking to you in the room is so much, man. After that Thunder game, he's like, I don't see nobody in the West, and I just all the matchups just fit. I was like,
it
I feel
felt like that, bro.
like, dude,
It
I'm
felt
like,
like that.
but you just saw like,
We just probably got in hindsight, the worst possible first round matchup given our weaknesses on the team. We have a size weakness. Minnesota's a big team.
but then it was
Like
some advantages in y'all favor that,
it
like I said,
was.
if it was a possession or two, who knows, in a game three, a game four, that could have swung the series still to y'all favor. But I think just clearly the fourth quarter swing factors from Julius Randle and the Nas Reeds and Dante, like just them, the others doing their jobs enough than JJ having to rely on others. Especially like I said, when JJ he pivots. It was shown. So still credit when credit is due. The Timberwolves were clearly a better team. They found the way, especially exploited the Lakers' weaknesses. And when the ironic part enough is in the fourth quarter, you want to take the Timberwolves, so you would think in a close game enough, but they showed their demons and fought against it and exploited the two guys that you were wanting in the clutch at least. They was able to manufacture enough as a team and was able to do enough as a superstar that he is ascending and is showing. They were able to take it up a notch and they was able to win 4 games in this series. And they are now advancing to the next round. So that leads us to the offseason recap. Not the offseason recap, but the offseason future Hondas. Hopefully, I'm get sponsored by something because boy, this is about to be a good one. All right, so everything is hindsight 20 right now. We see quotes coming out. We see Nico Harrison, the Dallas Mavericks are turning their comments on. Everybody's taking victory laps with the Luca trade now because it was so much ahead. Look, the ironic part enough of it that we talked about playoff records. Do you want to do you told me Giannis playoff record was 1-9 in the last 10. Do you want to tell me? Do you want to know what Luca's record and
2-8.
you know what LeBron record is?
I think 2-12 or something. Something like that. Yeah.
That's just a very, very just that's just very fascinating stats from just all three of them. I I I try to comprehend to the point where is it more clearly it's a team thing enough because they're losing, but where do the impact draw the line to where these all-time greats who clearly we could look at their stats and they're still putting up guys and stats in these ridiculous losses. But where do the impact draw the line to where team success or team loss to where like the roster or like your teammates? Because you showed me that article about the basketball laws when and I read it about that weak link. The one weak
Yeah.
link
Yeah.
could destroy it's like a bad it's like a cancer cell. One cancer cell getting in your system, it could just and fluctuate your whole body, leaving you sick and all that.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating to me that now that we're basically another year and we're just a year now later, we're in the cycle of Luca needs to get in shape. LeBron is 40 years old. Is this the last dance? Is this the last dance with Giannis and the Bucks? And it just shows me each time it's fucking hard to win. It really is. And in a profession where these are billionaire professionals who are getting paid just as much as the next team to scout that team to get to the level goal, and that the ultimate goal is clearly to win championships. Where do you go? How can where when the NBA is just going to only get younger and sprouter and just fucking just it's just going to get more talented. It's just going to be more going to be more Cooper, not Cooper Flat, but just guys who's just going to just come in and just see the shit. Like, I'm trying to find a way of a word to say. Rob Pelinka just got extended. 9 times out of 10, shit. I mean, shit. I mean, shit, you lost in the first round, but shit. Do you still give him executive of the year? Still, you made the blockbuster trade of the year. I'm sorry, bro. Hindsight is 20 now.
If it's a regular season
Uh
award, I guess.
so what? So executive year if the playoff was the end,
Is
it's
it
always
is
just
it regular year a regular season award or is
yeah.
it?
No, it's a regular season.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You can't change shit now, like just like the MVP and shit. Like, yeah, it's gonna look bad, but I mean, he made that fucking trade. Like, you can't take that away from him. But it's like it was more of a the way I look at it. Like, obviously the league gonna give it to him, but the way I look at it is Rob just as a GM in general. Like that trade was a godsend, bro. It's not like he just pulled some strings. And no, Nico just wanted to get off of Luka, and specifically was going to trade with the Lakers. Didn't contact nobody else. He wanted AD. He saw something. He saw a vision, and that's what he wanted. I'm not really. I give more. Nico is more responsible for Luka being here than Rob is, in my opinion.
I agree with you on
So
that.
just saying, Rob in LeBron's tenure as a Laker, the only positives that I could point to is the AD trade and I guess
Basically, the 2020
the
roster moves.
yeah the 2020 roster and I guess if you want to throw in the Finney Smith for D'Lo trade, that's the
Getting
only
rid of that
things
and
I
getting rid of
could.
Russell Westbrook contract, I guess. But
Yeah,
then again, you
but
you you
you
made that
shouldn't have
mess,
been in
right? You
that
made
fucking
that mess,
exactly
right? You
exactly.
made
So
that
I
mess.
can't even
So I get
yeah.
you that.
So he
Um,
severely underachieved LeBron's tenure with this organization. They got the championship in 2020. Sure, it was in the bubble, but anyone who
it don't
watched,
matter.
I'm not.
Championship is a
That's what I'm saying.
championship.
I'm not gonna get into it,
Come on, bro.
but anyone who watched saw they
The
were the
Charlotte
best team
fucking
all
the
year.
Hornets would
Right.
take the championship in the bubble if
Yeah.
that led to the like. It don't matter.
The film,
Championship is
they were
championship.
the best team all year.
Yeah.
They proved it. Anyways, you had 2021. You pressed the panic button because of injuries. You still had what probably could have been a back to back in 21 if guys stay healthy and you don't get rid of guys like Dwight or really you don't sign
Caruso
yeah
and
Caruso. You don't make signings like
KCP.
Harrell. You don't sign Marcus All. You don't bring in Drummond. You don't make stupid moves around the markets like that. You probably are looking at a back to back if in a perfect world, but clearly, if that wasn't the case, guys got injured. You lost in the first round of Phoenix. You press the panic button. You make the Westbrook trade, and you basically just ended any type of serious contention for Brown's tenure with the Lakers. Once
Not
you
only
make
Bron tenure, but AD as well.
yeah, AD as well, but had a good thing, and you just gave it away. So I don't see where you go from here now, especially
Another year older for LeBron. I know Luca's going into his
yeah.
prime, but like I said, how many times I gotta hear this uh championship level shape in the off season or Luca this and that gotta do this and all like how many times I gotta hear that shit? How many times? I don't I don't wanna hear that shit with this like LeBron is 40 now, man. Like fuck like yes, Luca is clearly the best player on the team. He's better than him now. But still, it should come to a point where I should at least expect LeBron. Let me try to find a way to phrase. I should at least not have to expect the 40-year-old to. I know in the playoffs. I'm sorry, LeBron got to be at least 1B on the offensive end.
Yep.
More likely in the playoffs. Also, Reese clearly showed it's just levels. It's just a
Yeah.
limitation too. He still can be. I still think he's a solid still playoff rush. I don't think he's not D'Angelo Russell
No.
level that way.
No.
But it still just show it's a level. He's a third option for a reason. He's just and it's a third option.
He struggles
It's just
against
struck,
athletic when he
and that's okay.
starts.
Hey, and
That's the
that's
problem.
okay. Look, I still believe Russell Reese could still be a solid, at least a starting guard for you as a championship caliber team. maybe with like a, but like I said, this goes to the other end of the floor where LeBron James is 40 years old and he's guarding a guy in his prime and Julius Randle who's damn near taking it, who's going to live up to the challenge. You know, he's a mental warfare guy, and and not only is it taxing LeBron to have to deal with a man who's a high low post guy who's more capable of dealing with the physicality and want to acknowledge it, but now it's taxing to where in the game 4, I'm asking a 40-year-old to play all 24 minutes. And I know we could say all that stuff about JJ told this and that. He told him, hey, I got the timeouts. Hey, if y'all need the breather, hey, dude, you're up. How many? It was up
They
10
were
going
up
into the
10.
fourth.
They were up 10.
You telling me you don't trust Vando enough to replace the minutes? You
Just
telling me you don't,
for that, just a minute or two.
like, you
That's
know
it.
what?
That's it. And Vando
Maybe, you know
actually
what?
played. He had some impactful minutes in the game 5.
Like you said,
Like
take LeBron out because LeBron he got the mental war. He played 48 minutes. I get that. Forget LeBron. Roy Hachimura ain't played all 24 minutes in a playoff game in the second half before.
nope.
Austin Reeves never played all 24 minutes in the second half before. Luka Doncic damn sure never had played all 24 minutes in the second half before.
And that's really an indictment on him because he should be able to do that as a 26-year-old superstar in his prime. But
Not
that's
everybody built
another
like LeBron,
conversation
but
for
hey,
another
that's
day.
another conversation for another day. Like I said, so take LeBron out that conversation. Who's been there, done that? Who could say he's played all 48 minutes before in playoff games? Damn near only missed 1 minute. Damn near shit 30 seconds playoff games. You telling me you can't trust Gabe Vincent to give you a minute and a half of play to start the fourth quarter? Vando can give you some energy up to 10 seconds. All right, look, I get it. Maybe maybe it's still no guarantee. Like I said, hey, hindsight again, 2020, you look like a genius if you played all 24 of your 5 minutes of you guys and y'all came out close this game. But then again, you saw in the last 35, 40 seconds when y'all made them two threes to go up two. Austin Reeves, it was like mental war. Like they didn't, the defensive communication and shit is fucking bad. Why? Because niggas are tired.
Give up a backdoor to
To
Austin
Jaden
Reeves.
McDaniels, and then Austin Reeves give a bad foul because niggas ain't thinking tired, trying to just get the game over, trying to just close the deal with a win. And so now it lays to the next possession. They're down one to where Luca's, I believe he's ISO and Naz Reid, right? He ISO Naz Reid on that possession. Luca 9 times out of 10 on any given day, he has Naz Reid on the ISO. Josh buys him. He missed the right hand layup. He's fucking tired. He don't got no legs.
That was early in the quarter. That
That
was
was earlier. That was
yeah.
the.
Well, after the and one.
Oh, was that the? Well, that
He
was the
got
Luca.
tripped.
That was he got
He
tripped, right?
got tripped,
He
and
got
then
tripped. My
Braun
fault. And then
threw
Braun,
the
yeah, yeah,
inbound
yeah, threw
pass.
the inbound pass because they wasn't trying to get the 8 second violation. My fault. My apologies. Right.
Yeah.
Still, I still think all that is mental warfare and fatigue. I still think the 2 minute report said Lucas should have been called for the foul. Okay, cool. I still don't know if Luca gonna make them goddamn 2 free throws. I don't know that. He could definitely split that bitch. And then no all the momentum right on their side. They going for a 2 for 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So hey, hindsight again, 2020. That's really my sixth sense word is hindsight 2020. Allow with this serious, allow with the team, allow with how we're gonna see the future impact of how the Laker team is played. Leading to it again to where Shams just reported LeBron is expected to pick up his player option, and that player option is 52.6.
Look, I
How
told
do you
you
feel about
this.
paying a 40 going to 41-year-old 53 million?
Yeah, I told you this. I told you this the other day. I believe if Brown was a real nigga, he would go the Tim Duncan route and take a serious pay cut if he was serious about winning a championship. Because we have to be honest, if
You
you're
take a
if
pay
you're
cut, and then like I said, it's still no guarantee he's gonna win. You're just gonna
you're
give your
right.
chance a
You're
better
right.
chance team to win. But then what's the okay? I'm still the NBA is still gonna be a deep team, so I'm still gonna try to improve. I'm just another year older. I mean, yes, Luka's in his prime and stuff, but okay, I'm still. Who knows where Giannis and them might go? Who it's just it's a lot of who knows to where you're right. I agree. If LeBron was a real one, he should do that.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm sure LeBron is a very fucking calculated man. He is a billionaire for a reason. Not just playing basketball on the court, but off the court. He has million. He has millionaire friends. He has million. He's not at 1%. He's a 0.5%. So it's very calculating. To you got to really have. You got to really should uh, really think of the lens of what am I getting back from me? Do I already paid a true sacrifice of being? I'm fucking bro. I made this organization back in relevant.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't owe you motherfuckers a dime. I gave you niggas a championship. I did my part. I do my part. I'm a 41-year-old still living up to the expectations of them. There should be a 30-year-old, 20-year-old expectation. I'm still to make a part. I'm still doing my part. You motherfuckers not doing y'all part. So I gotta be a real one again. When we just lost in the first round. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
And
What?
Traded. I mean, even though you in a vacuum you make the trade, but still you traded away my superstar
Big man
who I won a
won a championship with, at least
equally as responsible for making the franchise relevant as I am. Like I don't see. Yeah, you're right. But it's like I'm saying in the sense of okay,
what if he wants to win?
Yeah, give himself a chance.
LeBron has ain't no 0-30 mode.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like that's where we're at now. So,
LeBron had literally just you saw he just posted on IG again. He posted one look. LeBron has ain't no 0-30. What you want, $5 million pay cut? Okay, maybe. You want a mid-level exception player? Okay, maybe. I'm gonna give you no $10-20 million pay cut.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like that's like wishful thinking. So reality, obviously, you're gonna take the money. He's Bron. Um, and
so you're gonna have two max players and Luka and LeBron,
and they're gonna have to.
Is Reeves expendable now?
Definitely, he should be after what we just saw. You can't have a backcourt of Luka and Reeves. Reeves basically becomes kind of redundant on this team. He had a great stretch of games to end the season off, but like I said, we're playing for championships here. 16 game players. And you need defenders. You need guys who can knock down threes and defend. Clearly, what we saw last night, he doesn't fucking do either of that. I'm not obviously
I know, but that was just I know
still,
all the shit was
it's like
a lot of shit is
opening
and close out. I get
shots aren't falling. It's like you can't play him. You can't have those type of guys. Like so, but you're gonna have to package him and like whatever the fuck you can for obviously you need a rim protecting center that can lob threat. You need some 3-and-D guys, but like that's you said for every team.
Easier said than done, right? Every team can say that. My team could use that.
My like this team needs a lot of shit to shake in order to be serious again. And
let that sink. Let that sink. A 51 team that was I'm pretty sure at least the second honestly come out the West probably behind the Thunder.
They were
only won one playoff game. Yep. Was 15 games away from to go. At least not really to go, but at least 11 games from at least being a series go to where at least the mega the nucleus to where the just the scope is just the finals clearly with this team once that looking trips are. Yep. And now we're back to level one of this roster basically was never really a championship roster to begin. It was just a playoff roster.
Yeah,
just a good roster to get to playoffs.
Just a high off the Lucas trade, and I'll admit I was on.
I know you was, bro. I know you was.
On that high, but
I fake joined you just because you was my boy now, but I really was really fake behind telling you like, dude, this is Houston on crack, dude. But I understand, and I just not because I'm gonna still take my props. I had the Lakers win the series and stuff, but then again, it's like I slept on it a lot. Didn't really have my epiphanies, but I slept. I was like, the Timberwolves after the All-Star break they were top 10 defensive and offensive team. Like I said, history tells you. Like we can't ignore history. We can't ignore facts and feelings. This is what NBA basketball guys normally would tell you. This stuff. Anomalies are anomalies, but the norms are normally the norms. When your team is a top 10 offensive and defensive team, more likely than not, you are a championship team. And history will tell you that your team is at least a conference finals team then. If you are a top 10 offensive and defensive efficiency team. And not only did they finish the season, I believe they finished 8th offensively and 6th defensively. but I believe they finished top five after the All Star breaking the shit. And the thing is, the Timberwolves really was a 50-win team, but they just had fucking horrible losses. Timberwolves
Injuries.
fashions and injuries
Yeah.
as well.
They literally won
They were
49
only
games.
one game,
Yeah.
one game from being basically matched with my team, and no one knows if probably eliminated them, or just a game away or two just for being a 2 C or three. So the West was very, very
It's a tight race all year.
all year.
Yeah.
All these teams were basically head and shoulders together except for OKC. So which I was basically history I try to say is maybe just on OKC side as well, like Boston last year. Maybe.
Yeah,
It's
they
just
should come
it.
out the West. Yeah, that's the expectation. If they don't, it's a failure.
Yeah, that's the question.
But
So that just it's very alarming to me. So where we're back in another off season, to where LeBron is not going to get any younger, and this is the Lakers. This is the Lakers, and of course their box office and stuff. And now you got LeBron on the team,
Luka,
and Luke, guys saying Luke now too. Where do you go from here? What do you focus on the Luka timeline now? But I say if you focus on the Luka timeline, you kind of mix your hand both the timelines because if you focus on LeBron timeline, you're in hand with Luka going into his timeline anyways. So now we're in the conflict of LeBron is going to continue to sign maybe one and ones, the Bron rule. Um, you go like I said, you're gonna have two max contracts. You're gonna basically look over your whole roster afterwards here and there. But it's just more like I believe it's some play options. Who has a play option on the team? Do Rui Hachimura got play? Like Rui got like contracts left, I believe. Um, I know y'all definitely should have some cap for sure-ish. Maybe not. Maybe the year after. Is the roster how you going this year? Kind of how you going into next year a little bit?
yeah. Jackson Hayes got a player option.
He's picking that shit up.
Vinny Smith got one next year.
He's picking that shit up. No, no, Finney might actually go on the market. Finney definitely got some value.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finney might definitely go on the market.
What did you say? Reeves the year after. So yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
he's
much
extendable.
pretty much the
Yeah,
same guys.
Breeze will probably get looked at this offseason now.
Yeah, you pretty much running back again. So and now you have what 26-year-old superstar in his prime. And I'm gonna be honest. I was watching one of my Laker fan spaces or listening, should I say, on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of made this comparison with the Kobe years after Shaq left. It's probably gonna have to be not a full rebuild, but just down years of trying to trying to attain as much assets as you can because you just have to be real. You're not gonna just get handed another superstar to join Luca. Just here you go, and your
He ain't
team,
gonna
your
probably
team,
be handed to him, but
your
this is a thing
team.
called free agency. It's Los Angeles.
I hear that, but then here's my next point. What star after seeing this series, the Boston series, how his game translates, how he plays the game, what star is realistically like
I
thinking,
think that shit is still
I want to
hindsight,
play with
bro.
that guy. Just think about it. I'm not even trying to say he's a bad player, nothing, but the Celtics leaked the formula. And kind of when we played them in that regular season game, it was kind of an eye opener. Once again, they have the formula. Live with his ISOs, take away his playmaking, don't let him control the game. Play him straight up one on one. If he gets 40, he gets 40, but you just live with it. Force him into tough ISOs, force him to phase out all his teammates and just live it. And then on the other end, relentlessly hunt and attack. That's the formula to make him look non-impactful, and it's worked. So, with that being said, with the deficiencies that he has in his game, clearly from a conditioning standpoint, from a defensive effort standpoint, from a heliocentric James Harden style of offense standpoint, how are you so certain that you can actually build around this player and deliver a championship? Sure, they got to the finals last year, but I thought about what you said about that OKC series, and They really were supposed to lose that. They just got a fluke PJ Washington. I, I'll give you your flowers on that. PJ Washington turned into Ray Allen. That's the reality.
The
Shay
points and
Shay
everything was
outplayed
even.
Luca
It was even.
by a
It was
fucking
the
landslide
team
that
stats and
series,
stuff.
bro.
The team stats and stuff was literally dead even. Yes, it was.
So they were really supposed to lose that. So okay, he has the finals run, but he got exposed and we are cool. So like I said, how are you so certain this guy can lead you to the promised land with the deficiencies? Especially knowing he's 26, about to be 27 next season. How do you know
Bring my bum.
that he fixes the defensive, like what can he do about it? So I think Luka's stock took a major fucking hit the last 12 calendar years dating back to the
What's a major
finals.
hit? Major hit is what like like we're in arguments now, but like, do you want to start a franchise with him? Is it a lot of plays you want to start a franchise? Like,
Everything's on the table now. Yes, Nico, he may have had the right vision, but he just didn't execute it correctly. He should have got way more, but I don't blame him for wanting to get off him as a franchise guy. I don't. After seeing what the fuck I just saw this whole series, I understand it. I do.
so can this? I mean, clearly right now it still feel like when Nico lost it straight, more so like you said, the logic of it. But can this also be another maybe a semi catastrophe for Rob Pelinka if Luca don't plan out to because they need a championship on this. He's a Laker
That's the
legend. That's
expectation.
the expectation if you're a Laker
Yeah.
legend and guys like him, it's championship or bust.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and get to the fun segment I like to call over under, sponsored by nobody yet. All right, let's get right to so fun off season recaps. Over under 3.5. Basically by the time Luka is
Champion.
by the time 30, 30 and a half. Over under hit champion by 30. Under 30 and a half. Over under.
I'm gonna take the over.
Damn, so he ain't gonna win the championship in his 20s.
Yeah, no. And this isn't emotions. This isn't high emotions.
I think it is, dog.
It's not. I've actually.
So JJ, hold on. So
sat-
JJ, so we're talking. So this is 24, 25, 25, 26, 26, 27, 27, 28, 28, 29.
the entire decade, you might as well say. I've sat and thought about it. I really have.
So JJ gonna get fired then? Because if Lucas, because we know it's not. We know it's not. Lucas not gonna get blamed. It's gonna be the coach. So you have high expectations. You got a potential for.
Yeah. And I don't think it's gonna be JJ actually earning the shit our previous coach. But it's gonna happen if they don't get the job done. But like I said, I just look if there was like something that could tell me or I could point to where it's like, all right, this is fixable. Like just he needs to get over the hump. But I don't see how you fix his defensive deficiencies. I don't see how you fix that. You got close, like I said, to the finals, but you needed some luck along the way. Yes, there's a formula so you
Of
can have
course, every
some
team needs luck in the
success.
finals, right?
If you
Yeah.
give him some lob threat, athletic bigs that can protect the rim, okay, you can run a scheme where you're funneling. It works to some degree. But a team like Boston, a team that just
Spread. I got 4 win
five
winners
out
and then
and
a
could
five
just
guy
attack,
with 7+.
could just get him in mismatch hunting. That's and like you said, or like what I showed you with that article with the weak link thing. We play in an era now where in the playoffs, teams are relentlessly trying to exploit your weakest link, your weakest guy, exploit mismatches, exploit weaknesses. That's the name of the game in the playoffs. No more the days of you being a 3 point specialist that does nothing else, the days of you being a defensive specialist that does nothing else. You're going to get picked on, you're going to get exposed. That's just the era now with the depth of teams, with the way the game is played, spacing the floor, 4 out, 1 in, 5 outs, all these pick and rolls, dribble handoffs, the sets that are run. Like it's just a more advanced game now, and you just have to be versatile when you look at the past, all the championships won in the 2020s decade, Boston, versatile team, 5 out, two-way wings, size. Your team, Denver, size on the in the front court. Obviously, you got the best player, point of attack, defensive guards. Golden State, like I said, switchable wings. Like you,
Steph Curry, shit like that. Yeah.
exactly. Milwaukee size, like Lakers size. So you see what it is in this decade now. Like you can't just you have to be versatile. You have to have size. You have to be versatile.
You gotta POA. You gotta have your Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
You gotta be unique, and I get that. A lot of championship teams need luck and uniqueness to them. That's why they finish the season as the best teams. Over under LeBron James finals 25.
Over. It's not happening no more. Yeah.
So
It's over.
basically under. You
It's
over
over.
under. So under
Yeah.
25.
It's over. He's gonna
It's
retire
over.
4-6. It's over. Yeah. It's over.
The days of June is yeah.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over. It's over. I could accept it now. Yeah.
Shit.
It's
Over under JJ Redick coaching 5.5.
Under.
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 So JJ not gonna be the Pat Riley for this team.
It's not even that. It's
No,
just-
I get
it's
you.
just-
I'm just saying.
yeah.
I'm not trying to. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
It's
Like
just- I know
you
how
just
it's-
see
it's
like
not-
how
yeah.
like season one clearly was a
Yeah.
fail. If season 2 is not a success either, he's gonna get on the hot seat. And then
Yeah.
season 3 with Luca, you would like. I get that. I understand. I get that.
It's
I get
more
that.
so they're gonna not win. He's gonna get the boot because of it. That's what it's gonna be.
Over under 3.5 seed.
Next year,
Yeah. Basically, 3.5 means over 3.
yeah.
Under. Still gonna be top 3.
I'll say no.
So it'd be like a 5 seed, like my team
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah, that's the first time it ever happened in his career. I don't see what moves can be made. Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna do it again. It's like what signs point to me like, oh, things are trending up, things are going in the like. I can't point to anything that gives me hope. Like, oh yeah, like they're gonna come back next year. They're gonna be good for the future. I can't even. I have nothing, bro.
So with this, so is this loss? So not even this loss. So is this round loss not way more long, but way more beneficial for you to know that it's now more fool's gold than say if y'all would have got to the conference finals.
Yeah,
And actually,
yeah. If we would have did what I predicted before the playoffs, which was make the finals and lose to Boston, my dumb ass. But if we would have did that, then yeah, I would have been delusional. Oh, this team, they made the finals.
but pizza too here, right? But
yeah,
right,
I'm
right.
glad. Yes, this is the reality check I fucking needed, man.
And
This
totality
is
votes.
going nowhere. This is a dumpster fire. Yeah.
Well, my
It's
team I
got to
thought was a dumpster fire. They're just a game away for having another series where it's going to potentially be a classic with Jokic in them. But hey, what do I know? And that's
Gibson having the best player in the world on the team.
I get you, man.
You could cover up a lot of holes. We as Brown fans know that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Eventually, Jokic ain't gonna be that no more. But you're right. It's very beneficial when you can say you have the best player in the world. And you're right. And that's like I said. It's your heart you still think LeBron the top 10 player, right?
Yeah.
I do.
I know what I see on the floor, bro. It's just he's being asked to do too much. If he's on a team that's
It's more or less like Tom Brady now.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
like if he it's not even.
But now my question to you is, if the roles were reversed, but then again, it's like he's a 40-year-old. I don't know, but Minnesota is a nice roster, but they would need LeBron to score at the rate that N is, and I don't know if LeBron is at 40 could do that.
No, he had.
But that roster is still a beneficial, solid around for him to be great.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you had that roster mechanism and you had a co-star to him say the N with N's fucking mentality and stuff like that, Jesus Christ could do that, right?
Exactly.
And he'll make Rudy Gobert work.
He would. He made Tristan Thompson work again. He made Rudy Gobert work reverse that. But I'm saying it's the offensively limited centers, bro. That's the point I'm making, bro. That's the point I'm making. Offensively limited.
Don't put your
Tristan Thompson was better offensively. Being honest.
Don't put your sons in the same category as Rudy Gobert.
I'm talking about offensively, bro. So much from an offensive standpoint.
Get your stats. Give me 15 in the season. At least Rudy Gobert can say that.
What about the playoffs?
Can Tristan say that too, motherfucker? What the
Bro,
fuck?
oh,
hell
no!
no!
They're basically a wash,
Hell.
bro. They're basically a wash. They do the same things. I'm
Uh,
saying offensively, bro. I'm not saying defensively.
I know defense. I know.
I could put anybody with Gobert offensively, bro. I don't care what it's.
Okay. No, we're not taking Rudy Gobert slander.
Bro,
27, 24.
Care,
not taking Rudy slander.
I just saw lobs.
Slander.
I just saw lobs and putbacks, bro. That's all I saw. He's 7.
I know we wouldn't make it to the show after Rudy slander.
Bro,
It don't.
Right.
It
I
was
give
a
him
close
his flowers.
out.
He had 27, 24.
9 offensive
He
boards.
That's what I'm saying.
Team was trying to sell it.
Exactly.
It was.
He did what he was supposed to do, man. Now do it against Golden State. Do it against another small ball team.
Maybe
Prove your worth. Prove you're a Hall of Fame center that you're somehow going to be. And prove against Golden State that their small ball is not going to be no match for you. If you do that, then maybe I might shut the fuck up. Maybe.
What's a maybe? What do you got to do for that?
I'm not saying you got to be 27 and 24, but make your fucking presence known, nigga. You're 7'2". What the fuck? It shouldn't be no, oh, he can't play. What Hall of Fame center do you know of? Oh, he can't play in this series. It's small ball. Like, no, that's backwards, bro. That should never happen. I should never have to hear that. That's why, like, it's the expectation. It's not so much I just hate Rudy Gobert. It's just the we give this guy so much praise for being as limited as he is offensively against small guys. It would be one thing, okay, he against bigs, but that's already known. But he can't even consistently dominate small ball. That's where the problem comes in. So, like I said, hey, if you have another great series, he didn't have a great series, he had a great game. If you have a great series against Golden State, and you actually, kind of like AD did in 23. In 23, you saw what AD did in 23.
Make his presence.
That's what I'm saying. Make them look stupid for even trying that shit. But you're not gonna do that. So that's why Golden State, I believe, is gonna win that series.
If they get there, okay.
Ain't no if, bro.
They gotta close the deal. We gotta give respect.
Bro, they going back to Golden State. They go.
Okay,
They
I got you. They
can.
but we gonna win. When they do it, we'll preview that. We'll preview that.
I guess. Yeah. Houston.
I don't know, man. I'm more like LeBron. I know LeBron. He about to turn down on 50 mil, of course, but you might be right. Next year, I just think I don't know where you go from here as a roster. I think all the signs probably point to next year should just be his last. But the competitive LeBron, I just think. You know when I think LeBron will probably settle down is when he probably know he ain't all NBA no more.
Yeah.
That's probably just it. So if he's all NBA next year, he's gonna play. If he's all NBA the year after, he might still play. If he's all NBA the year after that, he still might just play. I just think it's going to just come to his mind and the thrill of winning. Because I'd say
the first.
But then again, it's like but it's like fuck, like
the first domino, the 25 the game already happened.
You're right, I get that, but he's still gonna be second team all NBA. But it's like like. Yes, they're gonna be competing, but LeBron don't play for fucking more victories. He said in the post conference, like
every season since 07
is a failure. Yeah. So how many times if you're going to, you're not the best player in the world no more. You still you're still the top 1% in the game. Of course, you're LeBron James. You got to know how like Tom Brady and stuff. That's never gonna leave you, but. You still see young bucks. You're not gonna get any younger. You just see Anthony Edwards. Yes, he might be better than you, but fuck, you're like you seeing that nigga over there. Like fuck, like I still used to be able to at least impact on the perimeter enough defensively, like that nigga. I still was still like yes, I could play at least 40 odd minutes, or I could shoot at least bad, have my shot feel streaky like yesterday, but I would still be impactful enough to know my presence is on the court. These these past two games in the fourth quarter, LeBron in this fight, I would never, ever not know where the fuck is LeBron. Why the fuck? I see Austin Reeves getting more plays on the ball than where's LeBron? Why is Luka controlling the purple? Why? Where's LeBron? That's where yes, hard we still know LeBron is and the totality of things is smarter, more likely, still better basketball player than. But it's the 48 minutes of things. It's the tracking of things that Ant could just boost it up more than Bron can. And
That's really the two big things you can point to. Is the legs in the fourth quarter, like yeah, old young legs versus old legs, and then we just gotta be honest.
That's what you thought Luka would have did for you this series, right? For at least the first two games, it was looking like that, all right. And then once the nigga got the bug or just got sick from game three, it's just all hell went loose, right?
Yeah, and then another thing, we just gotta be honest. Bron, that first step, the shot, man. That first step, yeah, that first step. That's what really made him Bron.
That shit really that's past like two. Like LeBron, he's just so smart and physically like Carl, but
he's gonna change into like a big man now. He has to be a post oriented. That's what made Bron Bron. That first step, he literally not a single soul could stand in front of him in his prime. That's what made him so what we know, because that first step he gets by anybody. Now he's either at the rim or you gotta commit and help you making any pass. That's what made it unstoppable. Now guys can cut him off easier now.
Maybe that Silent Hill injury was the first effect.
Yeah, like that burst is not where it was. So you know,
hey, I mean, of course, like I said, you got the old man strength. That ain't gonna never leave him and stuff. But like, I mean, you're Nas Reed can stay in front of LeBron now,
yeah,
bro.
ain't the same.
Rudy Gobert is blocking LeBron on a one-on-one situation at the rim now, bro.
Yeah.
We're at them levels now. I mean, the fuck, Mike Conley blocking LeBron on the back on the fast break. Dante DiVincenzo, like niggas are not afraid of LeBron on ones for real no more now.
LeBron missing layups, like
that's just a sign. LeBron is he's still a freight train, but ain't nobody. It's more of just a mechanism. It's not a fear mechanism for him no more. Yeah. It's not a guy give oh shit man, this nigga coming in. I'm leaving. I'm moving. No, like hey, I'm gonna challenge you damn near more times than not. Motherfuckers are gonna challenge him.
The lift ain't the same. The burst ain't the same.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. My back, bro. I can't
be mad at it. Like,
dude. Oh God.
We saw this shit for 15 years solid of like prime LeBron James.
From like,
when he first not when he first, but
I'd say like
06 to like 2020.
I was saying really to know how LeBron. I was gonna say like once like 2010 to 2011, LeBron know how to. But of course, like the mechanism, the athleticism and stuff, basically from like their own 50 plus years, but like putting all that together, I mean, it's fascinating to still watch and see. But like you said, like he's human. Like we was telling ourselves, like of course, like it's integral parts to where we see the signs, the stats, and everything. Everybody want to throw at us. It's 2012, 2013. LeBron, like, I test like no, it's spurts. Like I said, spurts. It's just he pick his spots. Of course, he could symbol it here and there, but like I said, it's the impact of 48 minutes of a game where Ant or Yoke or Giannis and the guys like that can just control and do more in the game to symbol the line that what Bron just can't do anymore at that age, at this age now. And he's still God gifted to see at this age he's been doing it. Quick recap on the game 5 with Golden State and Houston, of course. Golden State kind of mailed that game, and in the third quarter, Houston just showed pride, played with pride. Of course, you were seeing that. We jumped on them early. Thompson, both the Thompson twins showed up and they closed out games. Got to give them props. Both was on some high head stuff.
That's a menace. Both of them.
Van Fleet joined the party, Shane Glenn, all of them. It was just a team effort, and I'm guessing you got to go say win game 6, right? Convincingly or
I'll say convincingly, but like
kind of like game 6 Memphis against them.
Not even that. Like 8-point win, 9-point wins, something like that. Yeah, Houston will like make it tough the first half, and Golden State just like I think they'll pull away. Fourth, kind of similar to like how Game 3 played out. I think I'm about that.
That seems fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Houston got it in them to force a game 7 on the road. I don't think they still Houston. They're young. Nah. Hey man, Thompson, do they had that performance again? Maybe we could talk. Have 25 points in 5 steals again, bro.
Missed 6 free throws on top of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was that? No, I think that was just summer. So I missed 6 free throws that night against the Knicks. Yeah. Last we figured out another 50 wins next year. That's given now, just with JJ and
Yeah.
Luca.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
You give him that 50
Yes.
wins.
Yeah, I guess. 50. It would be low 50 though.
Mm, Gonna go ahead, Austin Reeves. He gone. If your GM is a real GM,
If he was a
is he pulling
if
that
he
down?
was a for real GM, yes. But I don't think he's a for real GM, so I think he's still gonna be on the team. So
Go run it back. I got you.
but yeah, the smart thing to do would be to try to package him and get you back from the 3 and D wing or big.
I mean,
Or a point of attack guard, like one of those archetypes. You have to do it. You just have to. So obviously, it don't just grow on trees.
no, we do
It's
not.
easier said than done.
Of course
but
it is.
That's just the approach. So
Maybe we need to put Braun back at the 3 now. I think the 4. I don't know. I think the 4. You know what? Maybe in the regular season, sure, but in the playoffs, if he's having to guard like a Aaron Gordon, Julius Randle, some niggas like that, that's who are athletic and actually want to deal with the contact and like just some young guns, I might have to have put him at the 3. Let him like have to wear there and
chase around
maybe or just like I just you're asking. I don't care however old LeBron's gonna be. Look, LeBron is just always gonna be at least a 1B option, a playoff team to run the system, run the course. He got this. So now it's just gonna come down to matchup personnels and what I'm asking from him on the base to base plays on that end. I shouldn't be having to ask LeBron to guard Julius Randle and then Julius Randle and them. They pick their spots in the fourth quarter, and then when LeBron is got to hey, attack him.
Yeah.
And then LeBron got to that leads to LeBron being in the corner or such, where his impact is not weighing on that side where it needs to be, to where Austin Reeves get the ball more, Luca has to control more, and then at least like I don't think that's just well construed yet for them.
I'm gonna keep saying it as many times as I need to, bro. But they had the formula and gave it away. They had it, and he was playing the 3 in 2020. Well, really the 1 offensively and 3 defensively.
Why do you think they pivot from that? Dude, was it I don't was it the Dwight Howard, Javale? Like I just why did they pivot to the Marcus Saul Montrezl Harrell vision? I do wonder why they pivot to that.
I don't understand it.
And then they traded Danny for Dennis.
Not mad at that move.
No, I am.
I'm not mad at it.
I don't know why, bro.
What,
Just because, bro.
Didn't Danny like? Wasn't
Danny
it like?
was,
Did he retire after that year?
No, Danny played for Philly. Had a
No, I'm
solid
saying
year for
after
Philly.
that season.
Yeah, cause fucking Joel Embiid fucked his leg up. What the fuck? His fat ass want to flail and shit. He fucking fucked his knee up towards ACL. Of course, he ain't gonna be the same after that. But he still was solid. He was definitely a main focal for why Philly was the 1 seed that year.
But I'm not gonna disrespect Dennis.
I'm not gonna disrespect Dennis either.
We still were the best defense in the league that season.
I get you. You're right. It still was personnel. Anthony Davis and all of them still, but I mean, it still don't hurt.
Caruso and KCP was more impactful than Danny Green on a trajectory standpoint. Danny Green started, was he 35 years old or something?
Just 34 here and there, but I mean,
that's just move on. I understand.
I'm not giving
They
up.
would have still won.
I don't know if I give up a 3 and D guy.
It's kind of like the Avery Bradley skipping the bubble shit. Like, yeah, you need guys like that, but they would have still been okay without Danny Green. But maybe if AD wasn't bullshit in that season, he was still AD.
Right. Sure.
They
Maybe,
they
yeah.
would have been okay with Dennis. So
I
it's
mean,
really the
I
Marcus
just think it would have
All
been a nice.
Jones
I mean,
shit.
I think it would have been a nice enough, just another space in 3 and D because I mean, in the playoffs it
Yeah, of
showed. I
course.
mean, Kyle Kuzma could have hit a lick. Kuzma kind of lost his shot. I mean, Wes Matthew came to earth. Like as you see what I mean. So I mean, in the playoff, I was just saying. I mean, yeah, Danny Green have his lows, but he could still give you a high here and there.
Good.
He could. So that's where I was just coming from on that. Cal, like it was just nothing. Like it was literally it was gonna be an
back to back,
80.
bro.
It was gonna be an 80 LeBron pick and roll masterclass that playoff run probably. Whoever joins the show joins the show.
Yeah, we supposed to get back to back at minimum.
More likely, it definitely should be at least two championships with LeBron AD.
Yeah,
When LeBron at least, I mean, hey, shit. You would think LeBron and Kyrie, but then KD went there, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
You told me that. You would have trusted. You would have trusted him.
I want to trust them against Houston. You're right. That's like I
Nah,
said. I was
Brooklyn.
gonna say.
Against
Oh,
Brooklyn.
with that 2-0? Yes. Yes. LeBron or would have resonated against Joe Harris. Sorry ass. I don't know. Joe Harris would have hit a 302 for LeBron. I'm sorry that KD just couldn't for him. I don't know. And LeBron would have found a way to at least win you two more games up to 0. But I mean, that's just my opinion. Well, brother, it's been a nice hour. We're definitely gonna get back on it. Uh, Coming to you live, Riverside. Shout out to that one. I really think that's probably a bot, but we're gonna get more for all I know. It probably is a bot.
Till next time, man.
Till next time, from Riverside Live, we are.